we finished the first of the jewelry, the heart button, and we're ready for the skull button, our second in the series of three. All right, I'm going to go ahead and click on the Tinkercad logo to get back to the home screen. And I'm going to go to Resources. We're going to go to Learning Center. And we're going to go to View All. And I'm going to go down to the skull button. Dun, dun, dun. All right, I'm going to hit that start on this skull button. We're going to give it a go here. All right, it says drag a cylinder shape to the work plane. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. There we go. Next step. Scale it to a height of 2 and a diameter of 16. So let's go ahead and change the height to 2. Click on the corner button to change the diameter to 16. Okay, no problem. Next step says to drag a box shape to the work plane. So here's my box. Drag it to the work plane there. I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit more, scroll on that mouse button. All right, next step. Scale it to a smaller height of 2 millimeters. And the size of the 8x8 box. There we go. Okay, so far so good. Next step, drag a cylinder work plane. Make it a hole. All right, so there we go, and make it a hole. Let's just make sure it lines up correctly. Let's see if we can move it to the proper spot with the arrow keys. Good, everything looks good. Next step, scale it to a smaller size of 2 millimeter. Okay, so I think what it wants me to do is change the diameter, which it kind of says. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because it matches the orange there. So that is the diameter. All set and it's good. Copy and paste the holes and move them in areas highlighted in orange. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of press F to get a little closer. And I'm going to drag it to the spot, one spot there. And then I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it and move it to the other spot. And is this an extra one here? I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate it again. Not sure what that's going on, but I'm going to go ahead and duplicate and move that there. All right. So far, so good. Next step, drag a box to the shape of the work plane to make it a hole. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drag another box. So this one is a box that's a hole, so that works out well. I'm just going to go ahead and save myself some time there. Next step, scale it to a small height of 2 millimeters. Go ahead and change that to 2. And 1 by 4. There we go. And then move it to the orange, area in orange. So I'm going to hit F to kind of zoom in, and I'm just going to scroll out with my mouse. Whoops, Command Z to undo. I accidentally dragged a box there when I wanted to drag the whole box. And it's not locking in, so I'm going to turn off my snap grid again. Snap grid's going to go off. And I'm just going to go ahead and move it to the spot manually. There we go. Whoops. All right, looks pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and double check. Everything looks pretty solid there. All right, next step. Copy and paste the box holes and move them to the area highlighted in orange. Don't forget to adjust the snap grid setting for more accuracy. Well, I wish it would tell me where how to adjust the snap grid, but I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate it. Actually, let's change the snap grid. Let's try 0.5. Let's just experiment, I guess. All right, duplicate, move it over. Good, that looked good. And then just duplicate, duplicate. All right, so that looks good. Everything's lined up nicely. The 0.5 worked on the snap grid. It was a good guesstimate. Now it says drag a roof shape to the work plane. All right, roof shape. I think that's This one, the roof. Yep. Okay, there we go. All right. Next step. Scale it to a height of 3. Bam. And 3 and 3. Bam. There we go. All right. Everything fits nicely there. All right. Next step. All right. Rotate and move the roof shape to an area marked in orange and make it the hole. Make it a hole. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Then notice that the orange roof shape is kind of flipped. So I'm going to flip it real good. Make sure you keep inside of the circle so it rotates it at a 90 degree exactly. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make it a hole so I don't forget. And then move it to the proper spot there. Everything looks good. All right, I'm ready for that next step. All right, select all the shapes and group them into a single object by pressing the group button in the menu bar. So I'm going to select it all. Click that grouped item option. All right, and it's all selected. So there were some kind of variations when looking at the skull button that differ from the directions here. So I'm going to make the tweaks. I suggest maybe you do the same just to make sure that everything kind of lines up correctly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and ungroup it. Now, it wasn't very clear in the directions, but I'm just going to go ahead and click these squares that are holes, the boxes, by holding the shift key and clicking each one individually. And I'm just going to make sure my snap grid's at 0.5, and I'm just going to move it up 1 notch. And I'm going to do the same with, I probably should have selected this one as well along with the other ones, but I'm going to move that up 0.5 as well. All right, and now I'm going to go ahead and group it, okay? So now it's all grouped, and it's exactly the way that the icon looks in the skull button in the Tinkercad menu. That wasn't very clear, but I'm showing you now so that way you can make the fixes and make it look like the button that they have in the icon menu. Now that I have it all together, I'm going to go ahead and take that screenshot, Command-Shift-3, all right, or hit the print screen button, and it does save that to my desktop. I'm just going to double check that by exiting full screen. Whoops, I actually went into full screen that time. Exit full screen mode, and then I have the skull button there, and it's all set. All right. So I'm ready to do my next and last jewelry lesson, the twisted earrings. It's the last of the 3. All right, let's rock it out.